So news just came out that the Packers have signed former number 8 overall pick Isaiah Simmons to a contract. We first heard news of the Packers meeting with Isaiah Simmons on April 14th from Ian Rappaport. I shared a video on that a few weeks back, and now the Packers have officially signed him. It came out from Ian Rappaport. He said the Packers are now signing him to a 1-year deal. Also from Jordan Schultz, who said sources, former Giants LB linebacker Isaiah Simmons is signing with the Packers. Still just 26 years old, Simmons has 2 career pick sixes and adds versatility with his ability to play nickel as well. So I am totally fine with this signing. He was, as I said, a number 8 overall pick in 2020. The Cardinals traded him after a few seasons for just a 7th round pick. He goes to the Giants. He's been there the past 2 years. And before this last season, the Giants signed Isaiah Simmons to a 1-year, about a $2 million contract. And so that's why I'm okay with this signing, because I assume it's going to be for a near minimum type deal, if not a minimum exactly, which is close to $1.1 million. And so if the Packers are going to pay him, $10 million a year, I would say that's a bad decision. But when you're only having to pay him probably close to $1 to $2 million a year, I don't think it's a terrible decision. And when we look at Isaiah Simmons, when he came into the league, clearly people thought that he was going to be one of the better players in that 2020 draft class, going as a top 10 pick. And the biggest thing that people were pointing out is that he could be this hybrid type defender who can play linebacker, who can play safety. He's one of the best athletes ever graded when it came to relative athletic score at linebacker, 9.97 relative athletic score out of 10, 4.3940, 6'3", 238 pounds, insane vertical, broad jump, everything. And so I fully get why he was drafted so high, but things just did not really go well for him. And when you have a team that drafted him top 10 just 3 years later, trade him for a 7th round pick, you see just sort of how poorly things went with the expectations for what Isaiah Simmons could be. And then when he went to the New York Giants, he did see his snaps decline. In 2023, he had 378 snaps. And then in 2024, he saw those go down a good amount. If you look at the overall snaps in 2024, defensively 181 snaps. The past 2 years, he's had a really high missed tackle percentage, 18.2% in 2024, 16.4% in 2023. The one area where I think he will make a big impact for the Packers could be special teams. He played 224 special team snaps in 2023, 146 special team snaps in 2024, and PFF did give him a very high grade on special teams in 2024 at 88.2, which was better than any Packers player. And so for a guy that you're probably going to be signing to a close to minimum type contract for a year, he played really well at special teams last year. So even if he just came in and was a solid special teamer for the type of money you're going to pay him, he'll probably end up, paying off for the type of money the Packers will pay him. I haven't seen the official deal yet, so I'll wait to see until I fully know, but I would assume it's that type deal. And then if maybe Jeff Hafley can bring him in and try to utilize him in some areas on defense, that would just sort of be, just a little bit more value that you could get on top of what he would already provide you when it comes to special teams. And when we look at his snaps with the Cardinals for those about 3 seasons, he was used pretty much everywhere defensively. Overall, he had, I'm trying to find the number here in my notes. He had 1,086 snaps at linebacker with the Cardinals in the box. He had 436 snaps on the defensive line, 645 snaps in the slot, 63 snaps at free safety, 67 snaps at outside corner. So, you could try him at the slot if you needed him there. You could try him on the D line. The Packers could always just bring him in for a snap here or there, and he's insanely athletic. So maybe that's a guy where you could sort of use him as that chess piece type defensively in certain situations, sort of throw the opposing offense off. Can use him at linebacker. So for a cheap deal, a guy who's going to be I would say probably can be a solid special teamer, I see no problem with this signing, and there's not really that much risk if you're paying him, a really low amount of money. And so that's why I'm totally fine with this signing by the Packers making this signing. And when we look at the Packers draft, the only guy who you could maybe consider a linebacker that was drafted was Colin Oliver, who is sort of officially qualified as an edge rusher, but they talked about his ability to play linebacker. And so you have him there. And then when you look at the Packers' depth at linebacker, they got Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper, Isaiah McDuffie, Tyrone Hopper, Christian Welch. And so Isaiah Simmons can be some more depth there at linebacker. You could use him at safety a little if you wanted on the defensive line. And considering how solid of an athlete he is, I think he could bring some kind of benefit. And even if he didn't do anything defensively, he could be a solid special teamer. So those are my overall thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.